saying, here's what we want, and they got the exact opposite. And I thought, okay, well, there's going to be a political price to pay at least, right? They're going to be angry. So come November of 2014, every single person that voted that way, the way that the teachers didn't want, got reelected. So if you want to be a true advocate for yourself and the things you care about, here's a three-part test. The first thing is, you got to be knowledgeable. Too many people come to the state capitol, or they'll email their folks, and all they've heard is somebody said, hey, there's something going on, you need to email them and tell them to vote no. If you don't know your issue inside and out, by the time you approach me or Monroe or anybody else, because we live it and breathe it, we've got lobbyists and all these other folks giving us information, odds are we probably know more about the issue than you do, okay? And so if you come at me or come at your elected official, and maybe we're on opposite sides, if you're trying to convince me to change my mind, you better at least know as much as I do. Second thing is, you have to be specific. When you walk into one of us, don't look at us and say, well, you support public education. We're going to say, of course. You need to say, well, you oppose this bill that we think is bad for kids. Or will you support that bill which is good for public health? Whatever it is you care about, you got to be deadly specific. Okay? And the third thing, and this is the most important, if you're knowledgeable about it and you come and you ask me as your elected official to support something, and I tell you that I will and then I don't, you have got to hold us accountable. The problem is we've got too many folks that get to the state capitol, they tell their constituents one thing on the doors,
that's right,
govern differently, and then when they go back home and put themselves on the ballot for re-election, the lesson that they learned is you can lie to your constituents, you can do exactly whatever you want, and still get reelected. Until you hold them accountable, nothing will change. I can't tell you how many times in rural Oklahoma somebody will say, well, I've known him all of his life, and his mom sits next to me at church, and he sits next to me at church. He's just the sweetest person in the world. And I look at that person and I say, listen, that's all well and good, but you need to look that elected official in the eye and say, listen here. You can sit next to me at the church all you want, but if you're going to go to the state capitol and vote against my interest and against the better interest of the state of Oklahoma, you don't get to sit on the floor of the House of Representatives.
This is our fight song. Take back our life song.